Excellent. Thank you very much, Eric, and thank you all for taking the time out of your day today to listen to us speak about sales marketing alignment. And I'll try very hard to make this useful, a good use of your time today, because I think it's extremely important that sales and alignment, sales and marketing are aligned. I think that's, we have lots of challenges externally outside of our company, trying to bring in business with competitors, et cetera. And really, if we can't get our own teams aligned and working together, I think it's got to start there is the reality. So in today's presentation, I'm going to talk about some of the journey challenges, the challenges that we face as on the marketing side, some challenges we face on the sales side, and then I'll talk about data strategy and talk a little bit about software. Then I'll give you an example of how sales and marketing alignment would work with software. So I'm going to start off with talking a little bit about a funnel. And if we think about a funnel, marketing funnel and sales funnel, lots of folks know about the sales funnel, and quite often people are unaware that there's actually a marketing funnel on top of that. And really our business as sales and marketers is to take people through this journey and hopefully sell them some products and services that meet their specific needs. And I think that really at the top of the funnel, the marketing folks are doing their job, and there's some unique challenges that the marketers face, and there's some unique challenges that the sales folks face as well. And I think we need to understand this as part of the communication process for alignment in sales and marketing. And really, if we look at the marketing challenges, I think that especially with digital marketing, let's face it, that online buyers trust nothing. It's a case that over the holidays, the recent holidays, my mom built a website, and she did a really good job of it, and I was very impressed. Why I'm bringing this up is it's fairly easy to fake it. Right? It's and buyers know this. If you're communicating with digital marketing, it's really a prove it, not show it type of thing that we're faced with. Another challenge that we face as marketers is we're not just selling to one person. Right? If we knew who that person was, we'd go camp on their doorstep. But the reality is that we're often faced with multiple buyer profiles, multiple stages of a buyer journey. We're going to use multiple marketing messages, multiple marketing strategies, and yeah, we only have one website, and we only have 24 hours in the day. And clearly, if that's not enough, we will work all night if we have to. But the reality is we don't want to be in this situation where we're working insane hours. And the other challenge, putting it off to the prospect, and I think this is something that we both face on the marketing side and as well as on the sales side, is it's a case that it is never going to be just a single touch. Right? There is going to be a journey. It's never just a visit. And research has shown that 80% of the investigation happens before somebody actually gives up their contact information to an organization. It goes back to that trust comment. So it's a case that the prospects are going to visit the website quite often, hopefully, more than once. And quite often if we're doing our job incorrectly as marketers, we're getting them to start at the exact same spot every time they touch us. And really, one of the challenges that we face as marketers is how do we maintain a consistent storyline and accelerate this buyer journey? And I think the solution to this, and it's going to also fall through into the sales discussion as well, is that the solution to accelerating journeys and building trust is we really need to have well-targeted messaging, and I think this is marketing 101. Everyone knows this. Consistency in the messaging, and I think that one of the more difficult things is maintaining consistency throughout the entire buyer journey. Right? It's nice to have a very nice message in an ad and a very nice message in a landing page, but how do we keep that consistency throughout the rest of the journey? And the reality is, as marketers, we're going to end up forced to make choices, and that quite often involve trade-offs. Now, on the other side of the fence is the sales challenges, and really, the old adage about sales are for marketing, and sales are for Mars, and marketing from Venus or whatever. There's actually, the reality is there is some truth. They are two different organizations, and they have different requirements. Like marketing is quite often we're talking to many people that we don't have a direct connection with, whereas sales, it is a contact sport. So we have some unique challenges that the sales folks face on a daily basis. So I think that, and this is true for marketing and sales, but I think sales is a little bit more attuned to this concept, is the Pareto principle. 80% of our revenue comes from 20% of our activities as salespeople. So the question is what are we doing as salespeople for the other 80% of the time? The reality is it's not in the pay zone, so to speak. We're not actually doing revenue generating activities. We're doing a lot of administrivia, right? There's logging calls, writing follow-up notes in the lead management systems, writing emails, chasing folks for meetings, maybe even chasing the wrong folks that will never buy, or wasting time on people that are not in the right stage of the buying process. So, and I think that any salespeople on the phone today, they face this challenge every single day, and they know it very well. And it's important, I think, what I'm trying to communicate here is that the marketing folks really have to be in line with what the challenges the sales folks have, and the sales folks have to understand that there is some unique challenges that the marketing folks have. And I think this slide looks very similar to the one that was the solution for marketing, is again well-targeted messaging, well-timed communication. And I think this is also true on the sales side and the marketing side, is personalized engagement, right? Is maintaining that consistency throughout the buyer journey. And I argue that a lot of these problems, one is there is, of course, people problems. We need to communicate as people, and we need to understand the challenges, the unique challenges that each group of the organization face. But I think there's actually a bigger thing here, which is a data problem. So if we think about the entire funnel, from the top of the funnel all the way through to where somebody purchases, and then we're trying to build brand advocacy, or in the case for the B2B folks on the phone, account penetration strategies, etc. There is a data layer here that is typically is there, and if you don't have a strategy, you're not in control of this data layer. Now, if we think about up at the top of the funnel, especially in the B2B or even in B2C, when we're researching who is our buyer, we're going to go research, we're going to find possibly companies or contacts that are prospects that we believe have a need for our products and services. And the reality, we're going to do this research, and for the most part, the research is going to be speculative, right? It's not guaranteed that the research that we're going to do is going to be perfect. But the reality is we're going to track this research data in slide decks that we're going to present internally, maybe spreadsheets, reports. Maybe we're going to put some of this in the lead management system. Maybe we'll put some of this in the marketing automation platform. But really, this data, and this data always exists from the very top of the funnel all the way through, is the foundation of the marketing and sales process. And then once we start doing our marketing activities, prospects are actually going to be engaging with our marketing activities, and they're going to give us some behavioral data. So these are prospects, maybe they're opening emails, maybe they're clicking ads, maybe they're visiting the website. This is really behavioral data. And I think it is more accurate from the research data, but really the reality is that it will be the value we're going to get out of this data is going to be inference based. We're going to infer they clicked this ad, therefore they have this interest. They're on this page, therefore they have this interest. Maybe they open an email, therefore they have this interest. And this data again is going to be captured in systems like your marketing automation system, maybe your analytics systems, maybe your ERP, this type of stuff. So it's really this transactional data that is behavior, which is very valuable in the sales and marketing process. And then finally, we're getting to the direct interaction data, and this is where the salespeople are really doing their jobs. They're talking, they're understanding what the client needs are, and the reality is, I think it's factual. It is factual because the prospects have no reason to mislead a salesperson, and then the salesperson is very interested in helping the client with their buying decisions. So again, this is done in phone calls. It's possibly done in chat. Maybe we're talking to folks with us on the social media. Maybe they're engaging with our support channels, etc. But this is very, very important data that needs to be captured, needs to be disseminated throughout the rest of the system. And there has to be this feedback loop where this data is flowing throughout the entire organization, whether it's from the sales folks or the marketing folks. I think the marketing folks always love really highly accurate data because they want to do, of course, better targeting, et cetera. Now, quite often what we see is companies thinking, I know, I'm just going to start going and grabbing apps. I'm going to app my way out of this problem. We're going to get apps on my marketing side. I'm going to get apps on my sales side. Now, the reality is what we end up in this situation where we have a good collection of tools, and the tools are all very good, but the challenge with this, it actually exacerbates the problem of this data disconnect. Right? Because if you look here, the challenge with this picture isn't the tools. The challenge with this picture is the disconnect between the tools. And really what happens is that everything ends up being just last touch at best. We don't have a buyer journey. And worst, we end up spending a lot of time bouncing around tools trying to understand what's working and what's not working. So really what I argue here is that you need an application integration strategy. Right? You need to be picking applications that are connected and the data is going to flow between these systems. And we need to understand that. And a story I have is I used to work in an engineering firm, and it was a case that the accounting folks were doing everything manually. And in the engineering firm, they didn't realize that we had all these engineers that could automate a lot of the processes. And the same sort of thing goes here, is that marketing folks will have access to tools that they do, can automate a lot of processes. And the reality is the sales folks might be in a silo where they don't realize what is possible from an automation perspective. So really my argument is that you really need to have an infrastructure strategy. And one of the things that's very nice, what I'm going to be presenting here today, is the story of how ActiveDEMAND and noCRM.io solve a lot of these problems for organizations for the sales and marketing alignment problem. So if we look at the tool stack, really, and I'll show how this plays out in a funnel, is ActiveDEMAND is a full stack marketing automation solution. noCRM is a fantastic lead management system. So ActiveDEMAND would be the tool set that is being used by the marketing organization. noCRM is going to be the tool that the sales organization are going to be living in on a day-to-day basis. And the fantastic story here is that the tools are built specifically for their specific groups. So ActiveDEMAND is built to help the marketing folks. noCRM.io rather is built from the ground up to help the sales folks. And our two companies, ActiveDEMAND and noCRM, have worked together to provide a combined solution where there is a natural flowing of the data between the two systems. So ActiveDEMAND gets us full attribution from first touch on the website all the way through to brand advocacy, gives a very rich data layer, adaptive content. It's a full email marketing system, call tracking system, appointment scheduling system, etc. And this wraps the sales system, which is noCRM.io. So if we think about how this plays out, ActiveDEMAND is the system of record at the top of the funnel. So the marketing tools, this is the nature of the thing, is that it is a tool. ActiveDEMAND is a tool set for applying pressure to a population of people to create sales-ready leads. And I think it's important as marketers that our real goal here is to use our budgets wisely and create leads that are truly sales ready. And I know there's the term market qualified. I argue that it's actually sales ready, where the salesperson says, yes, that is a lead for me, and this is what I'm looking for, and they can engage. Because the sales folks are critical resources. They're expensive and they're trained, and they really should be talking to people that are ready or can influence or have a need that the product and service can provide. So really, ActiveDEMAND would be the system of record before we got this lead, and it would be the tool set that the marketers are using to create these sales-ready leads, and then we're passing the lead across this prospect lead boundary into the lead management system. And once we have the lead into the lead management system, then our sales folks are focused on, again, qualified leads. And it becomes the system of record, back to our data problem, because the sales folks are talking to the prospects. Arguably, the data in the lead management system is very accurate. So there should be a reflective nature from the lead management system back into the marketing platform. Anything that changes in the lead management system should immediately overwrite that which is in the marketing system. Because if you recall my data architecture slide, it was really saying a lot of the data we have up here is inference-based, whether it's research or behavioral. But as soon as we get to here, this is where factual data resides. So it's important to have a strategy on your lead management system and how it relates to your marketing systems. And if you are making choices between software, ideally you want these two systems to have this ability to control what data is passed to the lead management system, and then once it's here, that there is a real-time reflective nature to the data from the lead management system into the marketing system. So the marketing system that we have, ActiveDEMAND, it is a full marketing automation system with appointment scheduling, and some nice sales acceleration tools, which I'll talk about. But it's like website tracking, landing pages, newsletters, etc. And it has a very tight integration to noCRM. And again, like I'll show you in just a little bit, is it does have some capabilities to automate some of the sales processes that go on in the lead management system. So I'm just going to pass things over to Shereen. She's going to talk a little bit about the lead management system that we're going to be presenting here today. Shereen?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone. Yes, so I'll be going over how easy it is to use the lead management tool, noCRM.io. So starters, you can easily create leads from several sources, such as incoming emails, contact forms, business cards, and also manually if needed. We also have a very visual representation of the sales pipeline, which allows to easily track and manage leads, so you know where your leads are in your sales pipeline and which one to focus on. We also have a lead custom loop, which is to prevent leaky sales pipeline. Each lead in noCRM.io is always automatically assigned to a next action. So this is either a to-do status to be managed right away, or they go into standby status, which is for the next follow-up. We have personalized activities and outcomes, which can help you better plan your upcoming task and log your activities, which allows you to measure your performance. We also have team management, which allows you to create teams easily, to share account content and control access between your team members. Also allows you to see what your team is working on and where they maybe need help by accessing real-time activity feed. Our simple task management checklist ensures a smooth handover. Build a list of tasks you want to complete after winning a deal, and assign tasks to different team members with calendar synchronized reminders. And lastly, we have reports, which helps you to track team performance, key sales metrics such as number of emails sent, calls made, deals closed, and how much, and much more. Also, improve your process by identifying leaks and weak points in your pipeline report, and gain visibility over future revenues with sales forecasting report. And I am done. I give it back to Sean.
Okay, and what I'll do is I'm just going to present sort of a flow of data through the two applications so you can sort of see how the process works. And really, it's the combination of the marketing platform and the lead management system that really, because they're so tightly integrated, that it provides a foundation for sales and marketing alignment. So I will talk about up here first. I'm going to talk about how we're going to have an example campaign. We're going to execute some activities to try to create sales-ready leads for our sales folks. I'm going to talk about a lead definition strategy and a lead qualification and lead qualification strategy. Then I'm going to bring it into the lead management system, show you the experience as a salesperson is working through things, and then the communication back into the marketing system. So it's going to start off with a campaign, and the campaign in this case is our company vendor windows. So vendor windows, they're typically selling windows through channels, through for example, contractors, etc. And quite often, the challenge that vendor windows faces is they don't really know the buyers, and the buyers don't know vendor windows until they're being installed. So the task for the marketers here is try to get the vendor windows brand top up and front and center in the homeowner's mind. So the strategy is to do a sweepstakes, a home renovation sweepstakes, because clearly, windows are going to be installed during a renovation event. So let's just kick it off, get people thinking about renovation. So we're going to use a landing page, and we're going to focus effort to get people to this landing page to sign up as homeowners to take advantage of the home makeover sweepstakes. And once they sign up, then clearly as marketers, we're going to do communications to these people to bring the thinking of vendor windows top of mind. And we will, of course, these are great leads for our sales team, because if they do have a renovation project, clearly sales can be engaged. So we need a landing page, and one of the things that ActiveDEMAND does is ActiveDEMAND is a landing page tool. So we do have some assets. ActiveDEMAND's landing page builder is integrated into the platform. It's a drag and drop environment. We use the same builder here for landing pages. We use it for the pop-ups, tooltips, overlays. We use it for web forms, etc. But really, we need people to fill out these forms. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a campaign. So this specific campaign type is it's one of the two campaign types in ActiveDEMAND, and it is a calendar, because this is an event. There's a fixed date and time for this sweepstakes. So the best way we feel to schedule content and to plan out the content dissemination is to use a calendar. Right? So for example, maybe we're going to send out this email on this specific date and time. I'll send another email on this date and time, and then follow up on this date and time to all the people that didn't sign up for the sweepstakes with the previous emails. I'll also do some social media post scheduling. So I'll, we'll do some paid advertisements, etc., trying to get people to go to this, join this sweepstakes. I'll just very briefly show you the email builder, which in this case, ActiveDEMAND is a full email marketing system, and it's the same builder as the page builder, pop-up builder, etc., form builder. So really, it's one interface to learn for the marketing folks. We do have full multivariate testing, not just split testing, multivariate testing, vertical send. We can send different versions of emails to our resellers or our customers or our prospects, etc. The other campaign interface is our workflow engine. So for example, if somebody fills out the form to sign up for the sweepstakes, we'll enter them into this drip campaign of home improvement tips. So really, it's just some basic home improvement tips, with the punchline always being, hey, you should add windows, right? So it's a case, energy management, or trying to give these people some thoughts and ideas about what they need to do for their next renovation project. Now, the important thing here is on the marketing side, our whole goal is to create sales-ready leads, right? So quite often we're going to be, like I was mentioning in this campaign, we're going to do all kinds of different strategies. We're going to have paid advertisements, we're going to do social posts, we're going to do emails, we're going to do maybe even an SMS campaign to try to get people to go fill out this form. But the reality is, back to my slide, which is right here, even though we have multiple strategies up here, this is usually fairly well defined. What is a lead and who internally is going to handle that lead? So the idea here is that we are we're allowing you in ActiveDEMAND to control this interface through a workflow, because typically we're not passing leads from the marketing system to the lead management system unless the prospect actually does something. Our job is going to try to get people as marketers, we're going to try to get these prospects to do that something, right? So we have abstracted all of the interface to the lead management system into a single workflow, which we call the sales notifications workflow. So this workflow allows us as marketers and the sales organization to design the qualification and distribution strategy. So every time a prospect opens an email, fills out a form, books a meeting, phones, because we're a call tracking solution, any of these things happen, this workflow fires. And the intent of this workflow is to determine, is this a lead and who are we sending it to? So if it is a lead, one of the nice things about this workflow is, one is we can disseminate the lead. We can actually have folks claim the lead so they become the owner. And then what we're going to do is, based on the context of the visit, we're going to post this to the lead management system. So we have custom workflow objects to allow us to push this into and create the lead. So we notify the sales folks, we assign it to the right salesperson, and then the lead is now going to reside in the lead management system where the sales folks are going to engage. So I'm going to pass things over to Shireen. She's going to talk a little bit about the lead management interface in noCRM.
Yes, so what you see here is the visual pipeline, which makes it easy to manage your leads efficiently by allowing you to know which steps your leads are in and being able to drag and drop the leads through each step to eventually get closer to the closing stage. As you can also see, there are visual icons, which allows you to know what you have to do today at a glance. So here we're going to take, Sean, would you click on Bob Smith, which we need to contact in a day, as you can see by the icon. So this is your lead card. Everything here that you see is customizable to meet your company needs. We have the general contact information right under first name, last name, and everything that you enter. We also have the lead history on the right bottom corner, which allows you to know everything that you've done with this lead, so you're up to date every time you click into the lead contact form. Above, you also have the tags, which you can customize as well and know where this lead falls into. And then you can also see here that you can log in your activities as you contact them and also see where they are at in the pipeline if you're clicking directly through the lead. I'm going to let you continue, Sean, with the sales automation.
Okay, excellent. So ActiveDEMAND has a Chrome extension which gives us visibility into who's on our website, what the people are doing, etc. And one of the things it does is it provides an overlay onto the lead management system, noCRM. So for example, this little green dot is actually injected onto noCRM from within by ActiveDEMAND, and it's turned green, meaning that Bob is currently active on the website. So if I click the little dot, you'll get our ActiveDEMAND Prospect Insights. And what the Prospect Insights does is it gives us full visibility for that prospect, which pages the person's visit, which emails the person's clicked, which emails he's with link clicks, etc. We also have something that we call account insights. So Bob Smith works for Acme Inc. This little I here is the account insights for the company. So as you see here, we can see everything that the other employees of Acme Inc. are doing on the website, when they are on the website last, et cetera. So we're giving a layer of data to the salesperson so they can better gauge who's active and who's not. Now, one of the things that we're typically doing as salespeople is we're typically making a call, doing a follow-up email after the call, possibly dropping a voicemail, or leaving a voicemail if the person's not there, maybe texting the person, etc. So what ActiveDEMAND provides is an interface for doing outbound call tracking from within noCRM.io. So if I click the call, this is an ActiveDEMAND dialer. I can make the call from within the CRM, and when I make the call, it's a case that if I can have sales completion automation tools, like for example, I can drop a voicemail and then while the voicemail recording, I can have pop up, which uses dynamic fields out of ActiveDEMAND. When I send it, it tracks the email. It posts the email into the CRM. I can do SMS messaging, all of this type of stuff that happens on a day-to-day basis for a salesperson. So really, what we're trying to do is help the salesperson work more effectively. And another thing that we do is typically if I try to get a hold of Bob, let's say Bob is busy, right? So Bob's busy. For me, it's a case that I might I want to be moving on to the next person who has time for me. So what I might do is assign Bob to for example, a canned campaign. He's unresponsive. So these are drip campaigns in ActiveDEMAND. I can add this person to the drip campaign from directly within noCRM, and I will be able to see, I can actually check back on Bob in this case, and you'll actually be able to see how far along in the campaign he is, if he's exited, if he's what weight state, this type of stuff. So we provide some visibility into what's happening with the person in the drip campaign. I can as well assign, for example, tags that can trigger drip campaigns, or I can use custom fields because anything that happens in the CRM is immediately reflected back into the automation system. So back to this slide that I was showing you is that anything that happens in noCRM is immediately reflected back into the marketing system. So the case where I assigned a drip campaign to Bob, it's the case that, for example, maybe a deal stage of unresponsive. We set the person to a deal stage of unresponsive, and ActiveDEMAND knows immediately that this person's in a deal stage of unresponsive, and we can start a drip campaign saying, hey, Bob, I tried to get a hold of you. You were busy. Busy's good. Pick a time on my appointment scheduler that's right for you. Now, the appointment scheduler is native to ActiveDEMAND, so if they booked a meeting, ActiveDEMAND knows, and back to the CRM the person goes. But if they don't book the meeting, we can follow up with another email, and the email is going to be very similar, but it's going to say, hey, just a gentle reminder, we have this appointment scheduler. Now, if they don't book the meeting, we can also go post back to the CRM, I should say the lead management system, so that it's a case that the salesperson now knows that the prospect is they need to make a final choice as to whether or not the person's ready for sales or not. So long story short here, I'm not sure my audio connection, is it still good? Can you? It's a case that, long story short here, is that really we are trying to present an application layer where the marketing software talks to the sales software, and the sales software talks to the marketing software. So really, back to the beginning, the problem we're trying to solve here. There are some clear marketing and sales alignment issues that marketing has their unique challenges, the sales have their unique challenges, and really an organization to solve these challenges, I think, needs to have a data management strategy. And it's a case that with the data management strategy, I think you really need to get an architecture or software architecture strategy as well. And then consider that the tools that are made for marketing are typically may not be the right tools for sales to use, and that sales, for a lead management system, they need to pick a product that is actually easy to use and doesn't get in the way and helps them with their day-to-day process, like noCRM does. And so really, and I think the argument that the solution that we're presenting here is that a tightly integrated marketing and sales platform will help a lot in the path towards aligning your sales and marketing needs or challenges rather.
If anyone out there has never used noCRM.io, then we provided a link, I think that we'll be emailing at the end, to try the tool for 30 days, and we invite everyone to try our tool. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us, and we also have a lot of webinars that allows you to know more about the tool. We'll cover in more detail what the tool is for, and like I said, anyone has specific questions, please reach out to us.
Yeah, and myself, I think that again, I want to thank you all for taking the time to meet with us today. And it's a case that I think the solution between ActiveDEMAND and noCRM is a very nice solution in that we give the sales folks a great tool for them to engage with, and we have some great tools for the marketing to drive sales qualified or market qualified leads or sales ready leads into the sales organization.